Are we live, Mike? No countdown music? Welcome to Rising Tides Live. I'm your host, Sean Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. It is Pitch the Tide. It's our Friday restaurant technology showcase show. We want to give a shout out to Will Brawley, who is the founder of Schedulefly. He was scheduled to be a guest on today's show, but he is traveling, and anyone that has been traveling over the last couple of weeks knows that there's lots of delays, lots of challenges. So, Will, we appreciate you. Travel safe, and we will get you on an upcoming show. But today, as luck would have it, and I don't even think it's luck, this community believes that a rising tide lifts all ships. We believe in technology, we believe in storytelling, and we believe in hospitality. And if you're in the right place at the right time, you can fill in and pitch the tide. So Brenda Saunders, she is the founder and CEO of a app called Trakr. She is based out of Toronto, and she has graciously filled in. I was on a call with her this morning, and what my grandfather taught me was stay curious, get involved, ask for help. I asked for help. I asked Brenda, would you like to fill in? With no preparation, she is here and she is ready to join us. So Mike, go ahead and bring Brenda up here on stage. Brenda, thank you so much. It was amazing that you were. I think they're just meant to happen. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I reached out for help too. I've always seen you on LinkedIn. And I thought I'm going to send a text message. I'm going to do it. I'm going to DM and see if you're available. So thanks a lot. And it's nice to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. We would love to have you pitch the tide. So please share the Trakr story. Who are you? What are you building? And what impact do you hope to make? And I will let you have the stage. Go ahead.
All right. Thanks. Thanks again. It's Brenda. So over at Trakr, we saw a problem and we wanted to solve it. Somewhere in every business, especially restaurants, somebody is struggling to count inventory with pen and paper. They're wondering to do it, and that's the problem that we solved. So Trakr keeps tab of every ingredient, supply, or part that you have in order that you can do the things that you want to be able to do, not the things that you don't want to do, like counting inventory. And, we learned a lot of what we did by watching and observing restaurants struggling, especially during COVID. That was kind of when we really saw how frustrating the job is and how we could do our part to solve a problem. We all carry around these computers in our hands, so there should be an easier way to do something. And we always say, let's ditch the clipboard and let's go mobile. So we saw us go from using hardware and barcode scanning all the way to using just your cameras. And now our solution really does what it says. It tracks. It helps you know what is on your shelf. All of our systems tell us, what we should have, what we're supposed to have. When it comes down to ordering, satisfying menu requests and getting the product out there and keeping your customers happy, you need to know what you have, where it is, and who touched it last. Who moved it here? Why isn't it here? And why isn't it there? And one of the things that we really wanted to make sure was that it was easy and simple to use. Because when you've got, orders coming in, customers waiting, complaints, happy customers, it's taking you away from what you want to do if you have to stop everything to count inventory. Yet, customer satisfaction kind of starts on your shelves. If you don't have what you need, then you're going to have, unsatisfied customers. You're going to have bad reviews. And we all know how hard that is to come back from. So if we can do one part of adding just a simple app, one app, to your everyday workflow, then you're going to be able to have a better insight into that, especially if you've got multiple restaurants. If you're an owner with multiple restaurants or franchises, being able to have everything there and to see what products are in this location, who count at this location, and have it right from your phone. I know that it can really help to save some time, and we've seen it work. We've watched a restaurant take an entire day to do inventory, being able to do that in less than 30 minutes. and to help them get organized a bit with shelf labels, barcodes, QR codes, whatever you need. We really want to see Trakr solve real problems in kitchens, in the front of house, and that's what we do.
Amazing. So grateful to have you join us. Congratulations on solving restaurant problems. We have a community of people that live in hospitality, live in technology, live in storytelling. Thank you for stepping up today. I know there was no preparation, but when you're building something, it's important to not only tell your story, but to tell it often. That's why we built this community. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the sharks, so to speak. Spencer Michael, go ahead, introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you working on a Friday? And give Brenda some feedback and ask her any questions you have.
Yeah, Brenda, thank you for stepping in. Thanks for having me as always, Sean and Mike. Appreciate it. Spencer Michael from backofhouse.io. We help customers find, or restaurants find the best technology for their particular business. So there's a lot of tech out there. Call us, go to backofhouse.io, and we help you find what's going to fit for you. And we're always looking for new tech, something like Trakr. And being a fellow Canadian, I'm also looking for Canadian companies always to add to the back of house marketplace. So, I mean, you don't have, I'm sure you have a slide deck and demo and things that you normally would come on, but obviously you don't, you're pinch hitting today, which is awesome. Thank you, Brenda. So I have obviously some follow-up questions. When it comes to doing inventory through camera, through barcode scanner, through your phone, anybody who's done inventory in a restaurant knows that like sometimes that's just not possible, or maybe it's not the most efficient way because you're breaking open cases that have the barcode on it and putting individual things on the shelf. You get things like produce in that, sure, I can scan it, but man, there might be a 3/4 of the tomatoes left in that case that I just scanned. So scanning the barcode doesn't maybe save me a ton of time. So, and you mentioned using the camera on a phone, which, I mean, these devices are so incredible that if you can find a way to use that incredible piece of hardware that we've all decided to put into our pocket, it is such a benefit. So maybe just elaborate on the logistics of I'm in the cooler, I'm counting inventory. Walk me through some of the processes.
You know what? That's a really great question. It's a great area to concentrate on because one of the things that kind of blew our mind really quickly was how we didn't always need to scan barcodes. And, I come from a history of barcode scanning, and it was kind of our first, kind of kick at the can. However, we found that we offer in both ways. So you can count without barcode scanning. The main part that helps is counting by areas and by storage locations. So that way you have the products that you need to count are right there. And then we're just talking about eyes and thumbs. I mean, we've been using our thumbs for texting and playing in whatever our games. And really, you can just do that. So if you want to be able to not scan barcodes, then you don't have to. You can just go in, pull up your freezer one. There's all the lists. Go in and just quickly be able to count off what there is there. And also being able to count by either a bin, a shelf, or let's say a box. You can decide how you count. Do I count by each, but order by the box? You can divide that up to. We really made it so you can find new ways to use our solution that works for you.
Perfect. And breaking down by, I've got a case of onions, but I also have 6 liters of sliced onions. I can count those and they'll marry together under one product. I'm assuming that's how it would work in that regard. Yeah. Yep.
You could say half a bin, half a box, or you could separate them and you could have sliced onions as one product and whole onions as another. You could have the products that you are ordering as their own and the products that you're using as its own count. Because this way, if you've got someone who needs to just quickly count what's left over at the end of the day, that could easily be done by having, end of day count. And then I'm counting all my prep ingredients. But the person who's going to do the ordering really doesn't care what's there. They know what they need to have on the back shelf. And that could be a different count. That could be different products.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to get too mired in the logistics of counting inventory here because I know, but obviously, that's I think these are things that I'm sure you would show on your full demo if you had access and didn't have to sort of pinch hit in time about it. How
Yeah.
does it work? And I always start. I love how you started with talking about the pen and paper because I get pulled into the two conversations I get pulled into mostly is a new point of sale system and an inventory accounting system. That's when it comes to tech. And so many independent operators are going pen and paper into the cooler and counting things, or they don't want to do inventory and they do it once a year. Oh my God, once a year inventory, please don't do that. This should be something some of your major items should be counted at least weekly, and everything should be done monthly. But of course it's just time consuming and it's labor, and maybe you have to do it as the owner. And that's the last thing you want to do in the world is go through the freezer and start counting items, but it has to be done. I think leading obviously with you're moving from pen and paper to something that's easy to use, that people can go right to their own device to utilize, which is a great strategy and an excellent story to tell. And then add a success story of someone obviously you've taken maybe locally in Toronto or from what happening. It took them X amount of time to do this, and now we've streamlined that, and they're getting much more visibility into their business and such. So obviously leading into that story, I'm sure you have those to add to your pitch. And then a day in the life type situation, like I just said. I know that for me, I did inventory alone, but I think I've seen now restaurants that I've talked to, inventory is a team sport. And it goes so much faster. It's so much more efficient. Other employees now have buy-in to what's happening on your shelf, in your cooler, in your dry storage. So, and having something like barcodes you can create, stick that for your produce onto the door of the cooler, and someone's scanning and someone's counting. I got 4 pounds of tomatoes. I got this, I got that. And now you've got ownership across the board with multiple people. So, and that lends directly into your device. And just download the app today and you are counting right now. So it was like, how do I count? You got a phone? Perfect. Download the app and now you're counting inventory. Congratulations. And so, yeah, I think you're hamstrung today by being short notice, but I think I would say that's what I would lean into. And I think these types of products are so vital for restaurants to just make this whole lot easier. So thanks, Brenda, for coming up today. Appreciate it.
Brenda,
No
does
problem.
does a customer need to onboard before downloading the app, or can they self onboard?
Oh, they can self onboard. You
Amazing.
could stand in your freezer and scan a barcode and enter in the amount and add your product.
Mm-hmm.
You could create the storage location on your phone as well. We really tried to make it mobile first. We do have a web app and there's a dashboard, but that can almost be secondary. You can do everything with your phone, and I think that really kind of helps. Because then that way you're standing in your freezer, setting it up the way you want to count it, not trying to go through sheets of products that aren't even there anymore. And that we found is like really what we wanted to be able to do is, what can I do? Let me just do this all on my phone.
Awesome. Jason E. Brooks in the house. He's back. We missed you. One of our Rising Tides leaders. Jason, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And happy Friday. It is almost end of year. Big red reset button. Great to be here.
So we tell us who you are. What are you working on a Friday? And then what questions or feedback do you have for Brenda and Trakr, her restaurant tech platform?
Who I am, Jason E. Brooks. What I'm working on a Friday is dialing in on my own tech. Brenda, with your inventory, do you have it to where you can actually connect it to a digital scale, and weigh products as well? And it can then sync Bluetooth to the phone to make it easier for weighing product. Would that be something that is a now or on the roadmap?
No, it's not something that we've looked into. We really are sticking to like replacing the paper part of the process. So if it's not really like on a count sheet, then we're haven't really been thinking about it.
You don't need to apologize to your dog. What's your
Yeah,
dog?
let the doggy in.
Yeah,
Let the
let's go.
doggy in.
This is Edison.
What's up, Edison?
He's on the couch. He's really not this big.
He's a smart guy. Thomas Edison. Good stuff.
Yeah. So that's him. So no, we haven't thought about scales. I know a lot of beverage companies, that's a big thing that they do. And it just wasn't something that we really focused on. We really focused on that clipboard and what they were doing with that. But I would never say never. We're definitely a company that will build and grow where our customers would need it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Okay.
Any feedback, Jason? How to improve the pitch or something? I mean, you've been working with restaurants for how long now?
Over 30 years.
How many restaurant tech companies have pitched you?
Oh, quite a lot.
So you know the good, the bad. Like this is for anybody that's watching, anyone that's listening, whether they're in sales, whether they're a founder, whether they're in marketing. Our job as a community is to give the best feedback possible to not only to Brenda but to the community. So share a little bit of feedback for her.
I actually came in on, I think you were about 30% of the way through. So I caught most of the back half, but I would definitely say, especially leading into 2026, everyone is really dialing in on tracking ROI more and really getting that dollar number in the front. Yes, ease of use, because the easier it is to use, the more it will get used. But I do believe that you did cover that. You put that front and center, making it mobile. But the actual savings part and making sure that the data of hours saved, minutes saved, stuff like that, that's up front. And then also visibility. Everyone, as we scale back, no matter what industry, whether it's Verizon planning on cutting 15,000 jobs, they all want a bit more visibility into what everyone is doing. So just make sure that roll up to the COO, the CFO, it's as easy as possible, but can be executed to the lowest common denominator. Not to say that the general manager or the manager on duty is low, but they need to be able to fully understand it easily while the information, the data aspect is spread out the way it needs to be up the chain. So making it balanced on both sides is key. And then again, back to that ROI.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason.
That's great. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Appreciate it. Dean LeBay. Dean, you're up. Who are you? What are you working on a Friday? And what's your feedback or question for Brenda?
My name is Dean LeBay, LA_VAY. I'm in New Orleans, and I'm a retired paperclip salesman and now working with the Cali Barbecue Media team. First off, thanks, Brenda. Thanks for stepping up, but thanks for your presentation. I actually understand what you're doing. The part about where, it's so hard to get people to just count, just do their job, and it seems like this is about as simple as it can get. And, I know early in my career, the CRMs were, Salesforce and all that, they wanted you to put in the information. People didn't want to put in the information because they thought, they were going to steal their customer, that kind of crap. Well, in your particular case, you're just trying to make sure you don't waste anything. And that's what I focus on. It's about how much is getting wasted, how much goes thrown away because it didn't get taken care of, it didn't get used. And it sounds like your particular software takes care of that problem. Here's my question to you. My question is this. What was the aha moment, or what was the moment that made you shift and decide to start building this?
When we have a barcode scanning company too, and we realized that people didn't have access to solutions because they couldn't build it themselves. So we had two aha moments. One was we can build a solution that solves one problem and stay focused on it. The second aha moment we had was when we realized we didn't have to scan barcodes. And Spencer, we talked about this earlier on, right? That was our big aha moment, because then we were like, wow, we can really make a solution that this person can count this way, this person can count that way. And when we were working in a local coffee shop at 3 different stores, we realized, oh, this person counts bagels like every single one in the box. And this person counts like, oh, well, they eyeball it, there's half left. And that was our aha moment, realizing that this isn't a cookie cutter solution. And trying to get something that works one way in the food industry and with restaurants, that's not going to cut it. We're going to have to make it that, what can you do with our solution, as opposed to here's what it does, make it work for you. So I think that would probably be the big one, was how different restaurants are and the processes, and then being able to make something that somebody can use it this way or this way.
Awesome. Answer your question, Dean? Sweet. Mike Biseglia, you are up. Who are you? What are you working on? What's your feedback for Brenda?
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Mike Biseglia, producer, Cali BBQ Media. Working on a bunch of different shows, working right now on a Tap Commerce podcast, which has been a lot of fun to work on. For Brenda, thank you as well for stepping up and filling in here. It was great to hear and learn about you. I think what Dean said is especially true on the simplicity of it. Was for me, it was easy for me to connect the dots on someone without the big restaurant background was super helpful. And then I think what Dean had said with that aha moment, and he asked you that question, would be something really cool to add in to bring us into that moment, as part of your storytelling. Could be really cool to gravitate, so people can learn more about you and use that as kind of a springboard. I think could be something great in the future.
Great.
Awesome.
Thanks.
And then Brenda, I'll give you an opportunity. Is there a question that you'd like the community to answer? Something that can help move your business forward?
For me, it's how are you having those conversations and finding the right people with an organization in order to find partnerships?
Spencer, why don't you tackle that? Since Brenda and I, just to give you context, Brenda and I talked before. Matt Wampler actually shared a quote about founders. First-time tech founders obsess over product. Second-time tech founders obsess over distribution. And I told Brenda that, my recommendation would be to find distribution partners, find other larger companies, whether they're Gordon Food Service, US Foods, Cisco, build the best inventory tool that they would want to partner with. And she was, I guess, asking what's the best way to go about building those types of relationships with some of the companies that are already servicing restaurants that need an inventory solution.
Yeah, well, backofhouse.io is number one, Brenda. We can talk later. But
there you go.
Just so you know, we're essentially the tech arm of Gordon Food Service. So that's any GFS customer that is looking for new tech. They don't have to. They go to their sales rep. Their sales rep, I don't know this stuff because I know the price of fries and chicken, but I have a team of people, and that's where we come in. So yeah, we'd love to talk to you, U.S. and Canada. And Gordon Foods isn't. You may not know of them. Those of you calling from California, there's a large California contingent here on this podcast, but they don't deliver there, but they do deliver coast to coast in Canada. So let's talk.
How many customers does Gordon Food Service have?
Well over 100 and something thousand, I believe. Wow. So yeah,
is that US and Canada?
US
combined?
and Canada, it's like 120,000 or something.
Wow, amazing.
So
sweet.
So yeah, that's number one. So let's talk further about that. But yeah, I think there's certain levels of trust within restaurateurs and levels of engagement within who's actually engaging with the restaurant. And number one is your food distribution sales rep. They're very protective of their customers because for very good reason. It's extremely competitive. And also they get to know their customers more than any other salesperson that is going to, I'm sure Sean can attest to his US Foods rep. He probably knows better than any of his other reps.
Gabe,
because
Josh, Brad.
Yeah, there you go, Josh. Because I mean, you're ordering from them multiple times a week, and they're talking to you all the time, and they're in your restaurant. They're
Can't run a restaurant without food.
Yeah, that's very key. If anything, you could just take cash and write a paper receipt if you really need to, but you can't do it without the food. Yeah. So that's a tough one to get through to, and I think that's where kind of we came in with back of house. And then from there, if you can partner with, if you have a niche part of what you do, is let's say for inventory counting, and you can do it better than maybe another, say, food cost type of platform, or some sort of costing platform, and you've got a better mousetrap to get the data to the food costing area, because a lot of the times, I know for the customers that we deal, the vendors that we deal with, they're phenomenal at calculating the numbers, but sometimes the inventory counting might be something like, it's simple. Just download a sheet and go for it, or you can download an app. You might have a better app, and so cracking into maybe having those integration conversations with them might be a way to go as well. And then maybe even taking a look at what it would do to download an app to go count inventory on their system, and see if you can do it a little bit better, and make that something where you can partner with them to say, I'm going to lead with my inventory counting app, and I'm going to recommend that they go with XYZ company to do their full food costing calculation. And then you can grow from there and start with those conversations. But I think if you're playing in the same sandbox as inventory management, then that's, I think, probably who you should probably be talking to as well as obviously talking to the food distribution. Those are probably the two areas I would focus on.
Great.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Jason, you got any feedback? How to develop the right partnerships? How to find the right people in those big companies? Actually,
Spencer did an awesome job. I learned something just now. Damn. And that's not impossible. I learn stuff every day. But no, I think that that when it comes down to partnering, I break out my day to always have what I call prospect power hour every single day. It is 1 hour every single day that the only thing I'm doing is prospecting to new leads, new connections, and new partnerships. We may think that, yes, it is just about finding customers, but it's also doing the research and finding out how we can partner better with them. So it might be basic, but just making sure that you're taking that strong 60 minutes. It's not working on your next pitch. It's not working on your business plan. It's not working on anything else dealing with your business, not the tech side, not anything. It's only prospecting, and it's done religiously, and it's for an hour, 5 days per week. I know some people that do it 7 days. That's great. I do 5 days, and I make sure that I'm not focusing on anything else. Although I have 4 screens, anything that's on my screen is only dealing with prospecting. That's it. And then that way I know I'm always building towards building that relationship and scheduling when I'm reaching back out. It will always be 14 days. It will always be 3 reach outs. It will always be, if I hear nothing, kick them out 3 months later. And then looking back to what I reached out from the last time, looking at what they're in the news for now, making it relevant to what they're going through, and then starting that back through until they block me. But that is absolutely making sure I'm taking that time to put towards building those relationships as well, not just making it organic. Organic's great, yes, but you also have to put effort into it every single day.
Awesome. Great stuff. Dean or Mike, any comments?
Yeah, I wanted to jump in here real quick, and this is kind of off the wall, but I mean, this is the way my brain thinks. The people where you're going to, when you're going to do this inventory, I mean, it's all sitting on shelves like Metro shelving, Cambro shelving, so on. You know, if it was me and I was selling your product, I'd be going to see like restaurant dealerships. I go to them and say, listen, I know you're selling Cambros at your restaurant. They need an easier way to count their stuff, and that way they can use your product and use mine at the same time. Maybe that's not the most original way to do it, but the restaurant dealership out there in the world, the restaurant manufacturers rep out there, they know who uses this product. They know where the restaurants are. Build that kind of relationship and say, listen, here's what my product is. It helps the restaurant become a better operator. I know that's your intention too, to help the restaurant survive. If they survive, they get to buy more product, right? And they say, yeah. I mean, like I said, that's just my 2 cents worth, but that's the world I come from. So, that's what I do. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Spencer, you want to give us a tip, takeaway, homework assignment?
Yeah. I guess I might want to hand out homework. I don't know. Brenda, I guess the question is, do you have a slide deck like ready to go, like about the company?
You know what? If you honestly, our website is my deck. It's got everything on there, and then the rest is just a demo, being able to show you what it is, or giving you free access
to
it.
Website? Yeah, what's the website?
It's trakr.com, TRAKR, and suite, SUITE.com. And you'll see a really good everything there. You can actually even book a demo, and you can actually sign up for 30 days free. And that's 30 days free. You don't have to give a credit card ahead of time. You can try it out, really see how it is. You get 15 minutes with me to help you on board, or your team has any questions. Because I figure if you want to try, the only way you're going to know is if you try it and really see if what we're saying is true, that it's simple and easy.
Perfect. I would say my advice would be have a quick slide deck just ready to go. Like just, to not use a firearm analogy, but a bullet in the chamber, be sensitive to that. But have that bullet in the chamber ready. Like, hey, do you have a deck? Sure. No problem. And it's your story is number one, your story, why you did this, what you saw as this choke point, how you developed it, a quick rundown of the product itself, and then a link to the website and things, and how you can book a demo. But I would say it's Google Slides, or if it's, you don't want to be death by PowerPoint, of course. You don't want to have this long drawn out thing, but something quick. And then when you can build that as a template. And so then when you are going into, pitch to customers, now you can use that template and you can start dropping in their logo, pictures of their restaurants, something along those lines that you can find to say, here's your story, how it's going to intermingle with our story and how we can help you. And then to Jason's point, you got to have some sort of ROI on there, as far as if you use our product, it is going to save you. And you're not going to generate revenue really from this product. This is a cost savings. So this is how you're going to save money and time by using our product. So I would say just have that 5 slides just ready to go. So when Sean calls you again, say, hey, can you go in 5 minutes? Like, I got it. No problem. I can pull this one up.
That's all amazing. Right. Well, I'll make sure I finish one up and send it to you, Spencer.
Please do. Or you know what? Better yet, we'll just book a time. You can do it in front of our team.
All right.
Boom. Look at that. Amazing.
Love it.
Jason,
thank you.
Jason Brooks, takeaway, homework assignment.
Takeaway. Actually, my homework assignment, and also my takeaway. My takeaway is I don't think we really think about our main distribution vendors and how productive in meeting people, how really we should be partnering with them. The way that Spencer broke down the amount of trust that the average restaurant owner has with their main distributor, it's very true. I never thought about it like that. Now, they do protect those client relationships though. So just knowing that whatever we are doing on the tech side, we better make sure we have it down packed. But that can also give us a really good gauge to how well our pitch is. If we pitch to a vendor, whether it's Gordon or Cisco or PFG, and they shut us down 9 times out of 10, that means we probably need to fix whatever it is that 30 to 45 second pitch is and think about it differently. If we start reaching out and they're like, hey, I want to introduce you to this person, that's a pretty good warm sign there that we have something that is going to solve someone's problem. So that's my takeaway there.
Awesome. Great stuff, Jason. Dean
And
LeBay.
I'll say,
go
sorry,
ahead.
Dean, Jason, for when you get in that moment when you come up to bat, a lot of times it's like a one-shot deal. So you got it is incredible, that circle of trust within these broadline distributors, and for very, very good reason. And so if you come into that circle of trust, you got bring the A game and swing for the fences, because it's you got
Well, not only that, but also prove your value, because
100%.
Selling is two ways. So just as much as they're pitching your technology, you better be pitching them to the customers that you work with. Absolutely.
Good point.
Dean LeBay, you're up.
Only takeaway I got is I'm inspired today, Brenda. Come on at the last minute. You didn't back down. You're not afraid. Listen, that's what it takes in today's marketplace, especially with technology. And a year from now, we won't even know who you are. I mean, you're fixing to take off. So listen, I'm proud of you. I'll follow you on LinkedIn. You post on LinkedIn. I promise you, I'll give you a follow. And everybody in this group, we all follow each other. But if you're not following Brenda, follow her today. Thanks. Yep. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Good stuff, Dean. Yeah, and that's a reminder. Anybody that's watching online, we have a LinkedIn group chat. We have an Instagram group chat. We have a Slack channel. That way our community can stay connected no matter where you are on Earth. We have a lot of people that show up at restaurant shows, technology shows. It's a way for our community to stay connected. Mike Biseglia, what's your takeaway, homework assignment?
Yeah, thank you again, Brenda, as Dean alluded to jump in here that fast and just get on stage. It's impressive. So kudos to you for doing that. I think leaning into that aha moment too would be really cool to draw people in early in the storytelling. And then also, Jason, what you said about, I know it's for prospecting, but for me, just thinking about taking an hour a day, if it's something specifically to look at, sometimes I find myself jumping task to task. So getting that strategy idea of, whatever that block is for an hour, I think is a good call.
Amazing. And just a reminder, we do these shows Wednesdays. We do them on Fridays, 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can go to betheshow.media/rising tides. We want to hear your voice. We want to hear your story. Please invite a friend. Let people know this community is growing. A rising tide lifts all ships. Brendan, thank you so much, Brenda. We are so grateful that you stepped up. Will, I hope wherever you are that you travel safe. I know anyone that's traveling, it's going to hopefully get better during the holidays. I'm traveling next week. I'm heading to Phoenix, to Scottsdale. So we have a restaurant shoot that we're going to be doing. So hopefully everything's okay. Mike, if anyone wants to host next Wednesday, Jason, Brooks, Spencer, you guys are open, available. We have an open slot on Wednesday. You can pick the topic. And thank you all. Jason or Spencer, anyone want to host next Wednesday? You available?
Next Wednesday, let me see. I actually think.
What?
Hold on. Before I shove my foot in my mouth. Next Wednesday, I will host, and I will also pitch next Friday if I'm able to.
I think we might be booked on Friday, but we'll get you booked for Friday. Wednesday, what's your topic? Do you want to think about it and then let Mike know?
Yes, I might need to bounce some ideas with Mike to find out what's been talked about recently, get my head wrapped around it, but I will host. Go ahead, plug me in. I'm blocking that time.
Boom.
Right. Look at that. Jason E. Brooks. Spencer, whenever you're ready, you let us know.
Yeah, I just had to look at my schedule, but Jason beat me to it. But anytime, I'll do it. Yep.
Fantastic. Brenda, thank you so much. Please follow Brenda. Please connect with her on LinkedIn. Please reach out to her about Trakr. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
As always, stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out to us anytime. Thank you, Mike. Great job, Brenda.